To buy or to rent? That is the question. Here's what you need to know, or what is the million-dollar question: is renting or buying the right move for you right now? In a perfect world, it's always a good time to buy. Real estate is the #1 way to create generational wealth within the middle class. I mean, buy land, they don't make it anymore. But in reality, this is a very complex question because it is both subjective and objective to an individual's needs, wants, and personal situation. There are many variables and nuances that can make it a good time to buy or just not the right time to buy, and maybe it's better for you to rent. The first question you have to ask yourself is, what are my real estate goals? Is this a first home, a second home? Is this an investment property that's adding to your portfolio? Do you have to buy? Are you relocating? And are you doing a 1031 exchange? Then ask yourself, what is my purchasing power and financial situation? What is my job security? Will you be locating to another region, or are you planning on staying in one place for a long period of time? Are you paying cash? Are you getting a loan? And if so, what's your credit look like? What's your debt to income ratio look like? What do you have for a down payment? The biggest question of your financial situation: can I afford to buy right now? Or is it better to rent? Maybe I need to boost my credit score or to get a better rate. Maybe I might need to save a little bit more money for a down payment, or maybe both. Another thing you have to take into critical consideration is, what is the market conditions and trends look like? What does supply and demand look like? What are interest rates? What are the rental yields? What is a rental comparison to a mortgage? The housing market we've been in for the last 3 years, we have seen the market shift at unprecedented durations. It shifts very quickly. So your situation now may change 3 months from now and may have changed from 3 months ago. There are so many variables and nuances to take into account that go into careful consideration whether to buy or to rent. Now, if you don't know me by now, my name is Shane Judge. I'm a real estate advisor out here in Las Vegas, helping people relocate and helping them achieve home ownership. Whether it's buying or selling, I can help. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new amazing video. Now let's weigh out the buying side. The pros of buying a home are many. #1, interest rates. They're still low historically speaking. Yes, they've bounced back a bit from the record lows from the last couple of years, but if you're looking to borrow money, it's still a great time. Just take this into consideration. Last time we saw inflation even somewhat close to where it is now, from the 1970s to the mid-80s, interest rates rose in the teens. In 1981, the average 30-year fix was around 17%. The current interest rates average, as I checked today, is around 6.5%. But we're living in different times from the 70s and 80s. But remember, what goes down must come up. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, watch out for rising interest rates in the near future. #2, housing appreciation. The Las Vegas market has seen a consistent growth over the years. The city's vibrant tourism and entertainment scene, coupled with a steady influx of remote workers relocating for more affordable living. And this has led to a sturdy demand. Over the past 5 years, Vegas home prices have appreciated by nearly 50%. Next, let's talk about equity. Every time you make a mortgage payment, you're essentially putting money into a savings account. As of 2023, the average homeowner in Las Vegas has seen an equity increase of approximately 6% per year. That's your money growing and working for you. Next up, tax benefits. As a homeowner, you can deduct mortgage interest and property taxes from your taxable income. Considering the median property tax rate in Las Vegas is around 0.65%, this can lead to a significant annual tax savings for homeowners. Finally, if you buy a home, you can always convert that into a rental. Depending on the home's location, HOA, and what you use for the purchasing power. For instance, if you get a loan, depending on it, you can only rent it after 2 years. And you can start producing cash flow using that to buy your second home, starting or adding to your investment portfolio. Now let's look into the dark side of buying a home. First on our list is escalating prices. Over the last 5 years, median home price in Las Vegas has surged by 50%, currently sitting around $430,000 at a median home price. As you know from one of the pros of buying mentioned earlier, While this is great news for existing homeowners, it can make the initial hurdle of buying a home more challenging for the new home buyer. Second, let's talk about market volatility. While the market has been strong, it's also been unpredictable, much like the game of roulette. Economic factors such as interest rates, job growth, and economic conditions can significantly impact the market. Currently, the possibility of interest rates rising is a looming concern for potential buyers. So hurry up, get it while you can. Thirdly, as a homeowner, you are responsible for all the maintenance and repairs. There's no landlord to call when your AC breaks down on a sweltering Vegas summer day. This is something that comes out of pocket. You should probably budget for expenses, which can average about 1 to 3% for your home's overall value annually, if you're a homeowner. Next up is competition. Yes, inventory in today's current market has picked up, but there are very few homes on the current market that are turnkey ready, which means there's a lot on the market that are just outdated. And these ones go very quickly. And we're currently seeing multiple offers on homes. Nothing like the craziness we saw for the last couple of years, but we are seeing over list price on homes that are turnkey ready and updated, that are priced right on the market. Lastly, buying a home means less flexibility. In a transient city like Las Vegas, where many residents are part of the hospitality industry and entertainment industry, the ability to relocate quickly for job opportunities can be crucial. Owning a home could make this more difficult. So what do you think so far? Are you team rent or are you team buy? Watch till the end of this video and drop a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, renting. We'll start off with the pros. First off, we have flexibility. Renting offers the freedom to move around without being tied down to a mortgage. In a transient city like Las Vegas, the flexibility can be a major asset, especially if your job or lifestyle requires you to be on the move. Next, let's talk about maintenance costs, or rather, the lack thereof. As a renter, you're not responsible for the maintenance or repair costs. If your air conditioner system decides to take a vacation during a hot Vegas summer, it's your landlord's responsibility to fix it, not yours. Unlike homeowning, that's on you. If you don't have a home warranty, that can be very spendy. Renting requires less money up front, while buying a home usually requires a sizable down payment. If you're a first-time home buyer, the down payment's kind of low. Renting can typically only require a security deposit, first month's rent. In a city where median home prices are around $430,000, the difference can be significant. Lastly, renting offers more predictable monthly expenses. While homeowners might face unexpected costs like repairs or property tax increases, renters can usually count on a consistent monthly payment. But as of late, rent has been going up. Actually, it's receded a little bit. In Las Vegas, the median rent is currently around $1,900 per month. Now to the first cons. First up, we have the issue of equity. When you're renting, your monthly payment goes towards your landlord's mortgage, or better yet, into their pocket, not towards building your own wealth. Essentially paying for someone else's investment while your potential for financial growth remains static, or zero. Next, let's discuss the rising rents. Over the past 5 years, the median rent in Las Vegas has increased by approximately 30%, give or take, currently standing at about $1,900 per month. As a renter, this upward trend could mean paying more for the same property year after year. Next is stability, or rather lack thereof. As a renter, you're at the mercy of your landlord's decisions. They could decide to sell the property, or increase the rent, or not renew your lease. This uncertainty can be a significant downside, especially if you desire a stable living situation, which most of us do. Finally, renting often means limited customization. Want to paint your bedroom a vibrant red to match the Vegas vibes? You'll need to ask your landlord's approval. Now, this lack of personalization can make a rental property feel less like a home and just like something temporary. In conclusion, renting in Las Vegas market presents its own sets of advantages and drawbacks. So you have flexibility, no maintenance costs, lower upfront costs, depending, and predictable monthly expenses. But on the dark side, you get a lack of equity, rising rents, instability, and limited customization. Now, here's a pro tip for whether you're buying or renting. The real estate market, like any other industry, has its busy seasons and its slow seasons. If you look at a graph over the decade, you can see that a busy season starts in about March when spring hits and ends about September when everybody goes back to school and the holidays start. So if you're looking for the best time to get a deal or not worry about the competition, buying in the wintertime is the best. Now keep in mind, many sellers who have great realtors know the busy season and the slow season of the real estate industry, and they may wait to list their home until the spring, i.e., there will be less homes listed in the winter months. Also keep in mind that if you're moving to a new city and don't know the area, if your purchasing power allows, such as a cash buyer, it might be better just to rent a while you're looking for a property. Get to know the neighborhood, maybe find a deal in the winter. So if you have the opportunity to rent a while and look for a deal, if you're a cash buyer, great. Now on the other hand, if your purchasing power is alone, interest rates could go up and you could miss the boat. For instance, I had a young couple, great, they qualified. This was when interest rates were in the 3%. They wanted the perfect house or the first home. And you're not always gonna get that. But now, interest rates are double that. So that 3 and 2 they could have got, they found a couple that they liked. They're looking at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath at the most, and not the greatest of neighborhood. So that perfect home is gonna take a lot longer to get to. So if they would have started last year and purchased that home, 2 or 3 years from now, they could have got their perfect home. Here's a story time. Just recently, I had an older couple. They were retiring. They're moving here from Utah. They sold their house. We looked for a few months, but it's springtime now, and every home that they bid on, they were in competition with. And they didn't want to go above what they wanted to spend because they're retiring, so they had to choose wisely with the money they spent. So they just decided to rent. Now they can afford to do this because they're cash buyers. So they don't have to worry about interest rates rising and being left out and missing out on an opportunity to get a home because interest rates were lower, so their purchasing power was better. Whether you're buying or renting, the best advice I have for you is to sit down with a real estate professional and take a critical look at your unique situation. Have a better perspective if it's a good time for you to buy or rent. For more videos about Las Vegas and Henderson neighborhoods, make sure to check out my video somewhere around the screen. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.